Okay, tonight we're doing a deep dive into something pretty grim, actually. The bombing of the Italicus Express, August 4th, 1974.
Yeah, a night train, Rome to Munich, packed. Families, workers. Then it enters the Great Appenine Tunnel.
And
Schweppes.
our mission here, using the sources you've shared, isn't just about the explosion itself. It's about the why, the political game behind it.
Exactly, the strategia della tensione. Strategy of tension. It's impossible to understand Italy's years of lead, the anni di piombo, without understanding events like this one. It was meant to engineer change through fear.
So let's get into the attack itself. What happened at 1:23 a.m.? It wasn't just random.
Oh, definitely not random. Deep inside the tunnel, fifth passenger car, and the device.
Wow.
The sources are clear on this. It was brutal.
How so?
Military-grade TNT, yes, but combined with thermite. Thermite creates this incredibly intense heat, almost impossible to put out.
In a tunnel.
In a confined tunnel. The aim was maximum horror, maximum psychological impact, and inextinguishable fire, as some sources put it. Truly horrific planning.
That intention, it's chilling. And the cost was horrific, too. 12 dead.
12 dead, 48 wounded. Sugifumi Fukuda, a Japanese traveler. Marco Russo, just 14 years old.
But even in that chaos, the sources mention real bravery.
Absolutely. The train driver, first off, he kept his nerve, used the train's momentum to get the burning carriages out of the tunnel, which likely saved many more lives.
Incredible under pressure.
And then there's Silver Serrati, a 24-year-old railway worker. He went back in, repeatedly, pulling people out of that inferno.
Oh, wow.
He saved many, but he didn't make it out himself. Died from his injuries. He was awarded the gold medal for civil valor posthumously. A true hero, but a reminder of the human price.
And Serrati's sacrifice, the death, it wasn't just senseless violence. It served a purpose in that specific political climate, didn't it?
Exactly. Italy was deeply polarized. Social unrest, disillusionment, and crucially, the Italian Communist Party, the PCI, was gaining serious electoral strength.
Which scared the Italian establishment.
And let's be frank, it scared Italy's Cold War allies, particularly the U.S. They saw this rising left as a threat. They needed, or some elements felt they needed, a crisis.
A crisis to justify a crackdown.
Precisely. A crackdown, maybe even an authoritarian turn. Roll back that democratic momentum. And this is where the type of terrorism becomes really important.
Right, because you had violence from both the far left and the far right.
Yes, but very different kinds. The far left groups, like the Red Brigades, they tended towards targeted violence, assassinations, kidnappings of state figures, and they usually claimed responsibility. You knew who did it.
Okay.
But the neo-fascist groups, like Ordine Nero, who claimed the Italicus bombing, they specialized in indiscriminate massacres. Bombs on trains, in piazzas, designed for mass casualties, maximum public fear.
And crucially, ambiguity.
Yes. Create chaos, panic, make it unclear who was really responsible, allowing parts of the state apparatus to maybe point the finger at the left to justify emergency measures. Ordine Nero even boasted they drowned democracy under a mountain of corpses. Chilling.
So the terror worked. But who allowed it to happen? Who protected these groups? The sources point towards the deep state.
It seems it went beyond just protection. There's strong evidence suggesting active involvement, instigation even. This iron triangle of subversion, as it's sometimes called.
Oh, okay. Break that down.
Well, one part was Propaganda Due, or P2, a clandestine Masonic lodge led by Licio Gelli, essentially a shadow government. A parliamentary commission later found P2 was seriously involved in fueling the strategy of tension.
A shadow government pulling strings. And the second part.
That points towards Operation Gladio, NATO's secret stay-behind armies set up across Europe in case of a Soviet invasion.
Right. The official purpose was resistance.
But according to some involved, including perpetrators in these terror attacks, Gladio structures also provided weapons, training, logistical support for domestic anti-communist actions, like bombing campaigns.
So you have neo-fascist terrorists allegedly supported or at least tolerated by elements within secret state structures and maybe even international networks.
And that collusion is key to understanding what happened next, or rather, what didn't happen. Justice.
The cover-up?
Worse. Depistagio. It's an Italian term. It means deliberate misdirection, obfuscation, sabotaging the investigation from within. State actors actively muddying the waters, destroying evidence.
And the result, after decades of trials.
A total failure of justice.
Yeah.
The final ruling came in 1992. It definitively stated the bombing was the work of neo-fascists, but all the main suspects, people like Mario Tutti, Luciano Franchi, acquitted. Lack of evidence. Decades of investigation, trials. and no one held responsible.
How's that even possible? They know who did it, broadly speaking, but can't convict anyone.
That's the legacy. The Italicus Express is officially a massacre without a culprit.
Okay.
And that, feeds this deep, enduring mistrust in Italy's institutions. It's corrosive.
So for you listening, think about this. The strategy of tension wasn't just about bombs. It was about creating political outcomes through fear and chaos.
And maybe the most lasting success of that strategy wasn't the explosion itself, but the aftermath, the depistagio, the fact that those responsible and perhaps their powerful protectors got away with it.
Which leads to our final thought for you. If the ultimate goal of political terror is to demoralize a society, to make people lose faith in justice itself, was the failure to prosecute the Italicus bombers the strategy's most successful, most enduring act? Was justice itself murdered? Something to ponder